This call is being recorded.
Welcome to a Diary of a Fashionista, everyone. I am now sitting in my new podcast studio, which is not set up yet because I haven't been in this specific room. I haven't been in my office since, well, my office is now used to be my dad's office, and so I haven't been in this room since what? The end of April? He got sick the end of April and he was bedbound, and then a friend of mine moved in, my previous aide moved in, and that's what we're going to talk about today. My previous aide moved in here, and I have only been in this room once since, and once since was her. So, and yes, we're still very good friends. Don't worry. The previous aide didn't quite abandon me, and by the way, Florida was awesome. You guys, I got to see the beach for the first time in about 6 years. So, um, so I definitely want to go back. And so, yeah, Florida was awesome. I cleared my head enough to do this transition. And the first week of the transition, Monday was a little bit interesting, but we're working things out, and my aide is upstairs right now. The aide who I still have is upstairs right now cleaning the kitchen because my new aide kind of left my kitchen a disaster. And yeah, this is how a transition rolls. And so today, the reason why I bring all this stuff up is today Danielle and I are going to talk about transitioning aid, and where Danielle has, well, I asked her, I said, well, would you interview me? And Danielle will do it without the iPad. So I have no clue what she's going to ask me, and no clue as to where this episode is going to go. But welcome to Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and Lisa's going to be coming on the episode on Ask Win on December 7th, and that's the only time I could fit it in. And so, other than that, I'll be down here recording podcast um, episodes in my podcast studio, which is blank right now, but it will be good. And so, Danielle, I'm going to let you take it away. Lisa, and Lisa's actually volunteered to come on the podcast. As I said, so December 7th, and you guys, I don't know, and I pre-warning you now that um, when I interview Lisa, she is gonna be a little bit of a, let's just put it this way. She grew up in Boston slash the Cape. And so, for those of you who have experienced Cape personalities, and my stepmom is one of them. And so, for those of you who've ever met a person from Boston, they are so straight through this, it's unbelievable. And Lisa has a good personality, but she is the type that will tell you straight like it is. And I am so used to a quiet personality that a quiet personality since May 19th that her being a straight shooter didn't help. Didn't help on Monday. Didn't help on Monday when we were trying to do this age transition. And of course, my stepmom decided to watch the age transition happen, and and so yeah, that's a long story in itself. And so Lisa is such a straight shooter, you guys, that listeners may have to turn their volumes down because she is not soft spoken, not soft spoken like Siri was. I mean, I was thinking about it this morning, and I thought I had a loud personality when she when Lisa started working with me on Monday. I'm like, okay, I don't have a loud personality. Okay, she has a loud personality, and the quiet as well. Siri is standing there, and Siri had to tell Lisa to knock it off and quit talking so that we could finish the training. I mean, I trained I trained Siri quite frankly, and it's like Lisa just wanted to delve in, didn't even know me, and because she's um had so much experience over the years with disabilities. I mean, she was a director on the Cape at a nursing home at one point, and before she moved here. And see, this is the first time, you guys, each of my aides have either been, well, primarily housekeepers. And so each of my aides have had no experience with disabilities whatsoever. And so, and you will hear when Lisa comes on the podcast, you will hear the strong Boston slash Cape accent come out like there's no tomorrow. And so, yeah, and I'm going to try and like go to quiet the mouth silly so you can hear the difference. But Sherry and I, if we do it, we're gonna be doing it by a friendship, not aid to client, not aid to client. And then what's happening now is as we make this transition, I have to get used to jumping in, literally jumping in the car. I have not been home. I have not been home since last Wednesday, and that includes going to Florida. I have not been home since last Wednesday, since the previous Wednesday before last week. And Lisa just on Monday, she came into my house, worked with me, did the training, and then on Tuesday we took off at 9 a.m. and went back to my house until about 3, and then Small was taking off again to go. I'm going to help Lisa with something, and then so talk about I like to go out, and this is what I'm not used to. I'm used to working at home, and it's like I we need after the podcast recording yesterday, which we gotta watch out. You guys gotta watch out for me that she doesn't um nec- necessarily talk to me after her podcast interview because that's what she did yesterday, and then I listen, I find I I this made me laugh. I find that Monica, that Lisa has a cell phone, but does she use it for entertainment? No, she uses books on CD. I didn't realize, and CDs in the car. I didn't realize that CDs still existed. I'm like, she goes, "Do you know anyone that listens to a CD um, anymore?" And I'm like, "No," because we all have entertainment on our cell phones, and so oh, at least I got say to listen to podcasts, and because I'm like I won't ever get Lisa to listen to a podcast. I will never ever get Lisa to listen to a podcast and be in modern technology. Although she likes my Alexa, but I will never ever get get Lisa to listen to a podcast slash get her in modern technology. And what I was telling Danielle is that they will they have a new pair of earpods, and once I get my podcast studio set up, I'm going to buy myself a new mic, sell my old mic, buy myself used laptop. So if anyone has a Blue Yeti mic that plugs into the laptop, let me know and I'll pay you guys for it, and I'll buy one straight out. But I need one down here now, and because this is going to be my podcast studio. But my point being is that Lisa, even though I love her, and I will love her, but Lisa's so into going out. It's like dealing with the Energizer Bunny. I mean, she walks in at 8 o'clock and says, "I need you to turn on U2 on the Alexa, and so I can get you dressed." I'm like, "Well, there goes my podcast. There goes my podcast." So, listening to podcasts, and so it's like, okay, quiet. We had Quiet and Mouse. Now we have Integrated Bunny, and of course, Danielle will meet Lisa eventually, but not now. And so, um, we had we during this transition, it's interesting to me that Lisa talked about, as I said, talk about going out. I don't sit around anymore and listen to podcasts. That's out of my routine now. I mean, it's like, oh boy, now I have an energetic buddy that wants, and then he is laughing at me for the statement I just used, that wants to be, that I don't know how to put this nicely, that just wants to go out and wants to go do stuff, and she throws the paper at me all the time, you guys. And I'm so used to reading the paper digitally that I haven't read an actual newspaper um, up until last week. I mean, even my own dad read the newspapers digitally, and so up until last week, I didn't know what a newspaper was, and here Lisa is throwing throwing the newspaper at me, saying, "Look up free events," and I'm like, Lisa, do you do you understand that I am an older millennial that doesn't understand what a newspaper is? I find that funny. I find that hilarious that she thinks I understand what a newspaper is. And I'm like, I'm doing a newspaper over my hands. And then what Lisa tends to do is after we get dressed tomorrow, we're going to pick something up, and 2 hours away from my house, and Lisa goes off I'll drive you down as long as you keep me company." And I'm like, "Okay, I don't mind," but, I'm like, "Really?" And so I told Danielle, I said, "Today I'm gonna listen to podcasts because it's the only chance other than Mondays I am going to be on Wi-Fi." I mean, I I love Lisa Daily. I love her dearly, but it's like, you need to you need to let me get acclimated to the climate. And trust me, as I said, Sally's still a dear friend, and she walked Sally walked in my house, um, late. I guess it was yeah, it was Halloween because she didn't officially move out of it until Halloween, due to she's been busy and due to all this sudden change. And so she walks in my house, she sits on my bed, I give her a hug, and number one, I give her a hug, and then I texted her and said, "Thank you for being my zen tonight," because Lisa is so the Energizer Bunny that I needed my zen. And it's like, oh my, oh my God, I needed the calm personality to counteract the Energizer Bunny. I mean, and Lisa, I don't know where Lisa was on Halloween when Siri walked in. I mean, Lisa likes to not wait for anyone, not wait. Lisa likes not to be told what to do. And I'm like, let me get reclimatized here a little. I just got home and then taking me out that next day. I'm like, okay, this is a little strange. Give me one day to get acclimatized there and get used to this pig. But anyway, it's all good. But I'm not gonna be home with you. I'm not gonna be home with you guys. If Lisa's doing it at this rate, I'm not gonna be home with you guys until it snows really, really bad. And I'm gonna be home this is why, and for those of you who have been paying attention, this is why I have to record Ask the Win on Mondays because I'm not going to be home the rest of the week. And it's all good. But at the same time, I have CP. At the same time, I have to realize my energy level, and we all knew this going in. It's, Sally goes, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but at the same time, I'm realizing that I'm realizing I've walked you guys more in the past week than I have in the past month, and I lost weight and did all that, and so it's all gonna be a good thing. But I just have to get used to the Energizer Bunny in my life. I just have to get used to the Energizer Bunny in my life, and I'm going to. Well, I can't talk to Sally tonight. She's on a mission, but I will be talking to Sally. Actually, I will be talking to her tonight because um, I just realized I have another change in my life that isn't good. Isn't good either. And so I will be talking to her tonight, but I will be briefly seeing her, and she's dropping stuff off slash picking stuff up. And so and then Lisa asked me, "Can I spend the night at your house?" Essentially, if the weather gets bad. She asked Malin and I both, and we're like, yes, you can, but no, you can't. I mean, it's uh, so this transition has been an interesting one. And so Danielle, I anything else you want to say?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Why? Why? Well, that is, yeah, that is a long story in itself, and I will tell you guys because you guys know I've mentioned this on the previous podcast that I haven't mentioned this on Ask When I'm actually a trust fund baby. And because of that, my trust fund, let's just put it this way, was being slow as molasses on paying my aides. They're still being slow as molasses. And that's why I had to find a new aide. I mean, Siri gave it all. Siri literally gave it all until she said, look, if I'm not getting paid, and I started writing a wall too. And she goes, look, if I'm not getting paid, I have to give my 2 weeks notice. And Siri gave it all. And I was thinking about it, if Siri was um, mad at me, she would have turned around and taken me to Florida. So Siri and I are still very good friends. And so that's why I had to find a new aide because my trust fund was being slow as molasses about paying my aides, and they're still being slow as molasses. I spoke to them yesterday, and my stepmom spoke to them for about a good hour, and they still can't understand that I have a disability and I need to pay my aides.
How long it take you to find it, sir?
Well, okay. Okay, I use a site which is a wonderful site, care.com. And then care.com, you actually can find housekeepers, nannies, everything else under the sun. They actually have a special needs section too. And so I posted an ad, of course. We posted it under housekeeping. So of course all these housekeepers started coming out of the woodwork to me. So then I took it upon myself to reach out to people on care.com. Now with care.com, they don't necessarily show the phone numbers. You have to DM people to direct message people to get the phone numbers. And I wish care.com would sponsor the Diary of a Fashionista, but they're not. And so I found Lisa through another friend of mine who was on care.com who said, I have referral for you. I have a referral for you. I have a friend that actually does this. I don't want to do it. And so housekeepers started coming out of the woodwork, and we interviewed. Sally was here for the whole process, and we interviewed a couple candidates. In fact, you guys, one one candidate didn't even show up. Didn't even show up. I arranged her to show up at my house, and she didn't even show up. So I just burst into tears about that one, and Sally knows all too well why I burst into tears because my stepmom said, did you put the care.com out job add up?" And I said, "Yes, we already did it." And so that next morning, we put the ad up on a Friday. That next morning, I started getting leads on that Saturday. And by that next Monday, I was getting leads out the yin yang and organizing people. But so many people are applying for housekeeping positions on care.com. As I said, Sarah was a housekeeper, and then the only disabled experience she has taking care of taking care of me, other than her own kids, um, was me. I mean, Lisa has more disabled experience than anyone I've met in my life. And as I said, but a lot of these people, and Madeline, my stepmom goes, why didn't you put it in the special needs section? Because they're taking care of you slash cleaning this house. I'm like, Mallory, people are not going to find a job in the special needs section. They're more likely to go find a job in the housekeeping section of care.com. And so I found Lisa through a friend of a friend on care.com. Lisa herself wasn't on care.com. Now, and either you win some or you lose some on care.com because I've reached out on care.com and people weren't responding to me. People said, "Oh, I already have a job. I'm just looking for part-time work," and that made my mom, that made Natalie a little bit anxious, and I said, "Don't worry about it. We'll find someone." And I was the optimist. Sherry was the optimist. My mom made a mountain of a molehill, and she's like, I and Sherry goes, "Do you even?" Because Sherry's on care.com as an employee, and so and that's how I found Sally, by the way. And so she's on Canada, and she asked my stepmom, "Do you even know how Canada works? I mean, housekeepers are looking for jobs all the time." And so what ends up happening is they apply, and then those who are responsive, and so it's so you either win some or you lose some on care.com, but I found, and I'll say this, even though Lisa wasn't on care.com herself, I will say this, but I will say that I found Lisa through a friend of a friend on care.com. So essentially, I found Lisa on care.com. And either you win some or lose some. And care.com is a very interesting way of doing it. One, they don't give the employer's phone number slash the employee's phone number. I discovered that one with Siri standing in the kitchen. I'm like, seriously, you can't put a phone number on here so people can contact you. And no, and she goes, no, they do it for your safety. So Canada, and with Canada.com, which we didn't do, which I still need to get Lisa's background check. Ugh. But Care.com, one of the unique features of Care.com is that they will do a background check on the employee and give it to you, but you have to pay for it on top of a monthly fee. And I think the monthly fee is $21 or something. And all the monthly fee is so you can direct message people. That's all the monthly fee is. And yes, you can leave reviews on care.com. Yes, I have left a review on care.com for Siri. So you see my how the reviews work is they put your first name, your last initial, and so the reviews, it's just like reviewing a book. The more reviews you get, the higher stars you get. And so that's how Sally does it. Lisa, because I didn't necessarily find it on care.com. I found it through someone else on care.com. I I will leave a review as soon as she gets on care.com. But as I said, care.com is one of those interesting places. Now, care.com in the bigger city works better than care.com up here, but I've found gems up here. So you never know who you will find, and yeah, you never know who you will find. I found two of two of my aides off care.com now that I think about it. And so check out care.com if you're looking for, they do mainly housekeeping, but as I said, they do have their special needs section, even though I don't use it. And so because people are not hunting in the special needs section, they're more hunting in the housekeeping section than they are the special needs section. So that's how I found Lisa.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Lisa started working with me, well, it's only been a week. And the Energizer Bunny has only been at my house a week. And so Lisa started working with me the day I got back from Florida. I mean, this has been the quickest transition in the world. And I get a day of training in, and but it had to be a quick transition, um, and so yeah, the Energizer Bunny has only been working for me a week, and so it's all good. It's all good. She is a quick study and a quick learner, and you will she often to tell you guys how training with me works. And so when she gets in the building on us when, just be aware that this is going to be a very interesting interview because I have yet not interviewed any of my aides and any of my friends who were my aides. And so as I said, I'm trying to get quiet as a mouse Siri on the podcast because she actually supports the podcast um and so I would think that Sarah's going to eventually come on. I just have to wrangle her, and Danielle also has to wrangle Celeste, which Celeste is gone right now, but she's gone temporarily. But Danielle has to wrangle Sarah. Lisa actually agreed to be on the podcast, which I was shocked by. I mean, um, Lisa wants to educate people about disabilities along with Celia, along with everyone else on the planet. And this is why we do a Diary of a Fashionista and Ask Win. So and by the way, Ask Win is changing its schedule again. It's actually coming out on Fridays for you guys, and then it will be recorded on Mondays. So out on the Fridays, recorded on Mondays. So for those of you who like Win and are paying attention long enough to hear that announcement, and so Ask Win will be in the podcast feeds on Fridays, and yes, we're on Google Home now, and a Diary of a Fashionista is on Google Homes now, and so you guys can have fun with that one and figure that one out. I still haven't figured out the stats on Google Home, and so yeah, and so Danielle, do you want to ask me anything else?
Yeah, 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 no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do I like? Well, I like how can I say what I don't like? I like
Yeah.
how she, uh, Lisa, Lisa can work on her cooking skills just a little bit, but I like how she's the energetic bunny. I mean, Lisa can work on her cooking skills a little bit, and this is I will tell you this story publicly And when Sally came on Halloween, she asked me for an honest update. So I gave her the honest update. The next thing I know, Sally goes, I'm cooking for I'm cooking for myself and you. And to just to counterbalance what Lisa's doing because Lisa has never, I don't think she's been a single woman for all these years, and we told her this was part of the job. Madeline and I told her this was part of the job, cooking and taking care of me, and um, she won't clean my house, but she will fold the laundry. But I, we said to Lisa last night, can you make soup? And of course, she's looking up a recipe on her iPhone, and Lisa's cooking can be a little bit stronger than what we were used to. I mean, I've had friends in here in the past that are better cooks, but we're working on that. It's a transition. It's a transition. I have to realize that. But I like her outgoing personality, and um and I like her outgoing personality. And as I said, Danielle, you will like her outgoing personality because she's a lot more. I don't know how to put it. She's a lot. She's the Energizer Bunny, and she. Although yesterday I was in the middle of something to people that I know came up to me, and Lisa's standing there. We're in the middle of a million things, and we're on the phone with my trust fund, and I give these people a giant hug, and I whisper because Madeline is on the phone. I whisper hi, and Lisa goes, well, did you say hi? And I'm like, yes, I did. But you can't necessarily say aloud hi when someone's on the phone. And so we gotta work on Lisa's approach when we're out in the public. We gotta work on Lisa's approach when we're out in public. But other than that, she's the Energizer Bunny, and I don't think she's never met a common person in her life. She will, she will not. The thing is, she will keep talking and talking and talking and talking until you, person who physically has to say to her, "Would you physically knock it off?" I
Yeah.
mean, she will, she will keep talking and talking and talking until and literally, she's one of those talkative personalities. And as I said, I'm not used to. I'm used to quiet as a mouse. And so, um, and so, as I said during the training, Sherry goes 1 second to make her listen and make her not talk because I don't want to shut down not talkative personality, but sometimes you have to listen, and um because Lisa's so experienced with disabilities, it's it's interesting to me to see un untrained person on disabilities and to see trained person on disabilities. I like both. I like both because one, you can start from scratch with the untrained person, and Lisa's getting used to me, and I'm getting used to her. But the outgoing personality, we're going to have to work on. But and the cooking skills we're going to have to work on. But it's it's all gonna be good. It's all gonna be good. And the way she treats me out in the public, um, is at least we're not at least we're not having Lisa talk on my behalf. And that's what my biggest concern was. At least we're not having Lisa talk on my behalf. But other than that, she's good. And yeah, other than that, she's good. And we'll see what we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah, you, 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 yeah, uh, yeah, uh, yeah, uh, me.
Well, I'm thinking that Lisa's going to stay on, and what I'm hopeful that this is the last transition that I happen to do in my life, because granted I've had a transition. My life has been in a transitional stage since May 19th. The only stable person in my life who's still in my life was Siri. I mean, Siri was put in my life for a specific purpose, and she actually she actually saved me and saved my bacon the day that everyone came over to check on a grieving person. I mean, I've had more people in this house than ever, and so and and what I just realized, you guys, as we're recording this episode, is I just realized that my podcast studio now backs up to my garage. So I'm going to have to tell my stepmom to be careful when she's backing out of the garage, because I just realized that, you guys, because I heard her leave. So normally I'm upstairs, which you can still hear my garage upstairs, but in this room you can definitely hear it. So I'm to get back to my main point. Um, to get back to my main point, I hope this is the last transition that I have to do as far as age wise, because remember, you guys, I've been in a transition in my own life since May 19th, and geez, the transition has been exhausting. So hopefully, this will be the last transition that I have to do.
You, you, yeah,
Do we get along? Do we get along? Well, because I am so used to this transition, and I knew this transition was coming before I was even told. I mean, I saw the writing on the walls, and so I knew this other transition was coming before w- before I left for Florida too. It was just sparked my attention yesterday, but to we get along. We get along like a house on fire, and it's um interesting because Sarah and I actually got along better than Lisa and I. Lisa will always be my aide, and Sarah knows this. I consider, because of the transitions Sherry's helped me through with the loss of my dad. Sherry will always be like a second mom to me, and Lisa will always be my aide. But at 8 o'clock on Sunday mornings, we get along, and I just have to get used to the ever-ready, funny personality. Um, and I miss Sally, Sally living with me, but AIDS have come in and out of my life, and because I'm so adaptable and I've accepted that I've had a disability all my life, and I know that AIDS are going to become friends, and it's nothing against me, it's more against the circumstances now. And so AIDS will always be my friend. I mean, I have a aide who knew me since I was 14, that I still talk to, not on a daily basis, but I still talk to all my aides, and I can call them up in 2 seconds flat and ask them if they can help me. And um, I still talk to all my aides. Quite frankly, I almost brought a friend in here to help me, but we found someone quickly. And so I still talk to all my aides because I'm human and I understand what's going on. It's not like I'm living on the rock. So, and it's not like these aides are going to leave my life. They're going to leave the position of taking care of me. But um, when I think about it, it's really a special relationship I now have with Celia and all my aides, and including Lisa. And Lisa actually knows another friend of ours, Elizabeth Howard, who's coming out here in March. And I'm going to try and get Elizabeth on the podcast, although Elizabeth is, and then you know, this Elizabeth is quiet as a mouse too. So we'll see what happens. But I want to talk to Elizabeth and say, look, we both, Elizabeth is younger than me, but we both have cerebral palsy, and her life is completely different than mine. And I just want to bring her perspective anyway. We'll see what happens on that one. But yeah, but I think going through a transition is good, and it hasn't hurt me yet. So it may have hurt my heart slowly but surely because I was expecting this transition, but the day Sally told me this transition was happening was a Wednesday, and I burst into tears. And Mallory, my stepmom, wasn't even home, and then she was at work when the news got broken to me, and so and then she texted Siri and said, "Did you tell Raymond?" Of course, Siri said yes. Siri will never tell a lie. And so, yes. And now I asked her how I'm doing, and of course, Siri said, "When's a mess?" And so that's how that all started. And so, Siri now I got anxious during this whole transition, and of course, there's another transition which Danielle will find out later this afternoon. And then once I get through this second transition, I will be able to tell you guys what what's going on, but we're going through not one but two transitions, and of course, I wasn't privy to this other transition until yesterday, which is always lovely when you see something because I'm one of those types that can look around the room and see tension in the room without people speaking to me. So, and of course, Siri is coming to see me tonight, which that is going to be interesting because Siri's dropping stuff off, slash picking stuff up. So I will literally see her for 2 minutes, and then this is how we roll now. I will literally see this woman for 2 minutes, and then because Siri is for those of you who know the birth sign cancers, when cancers get pushed to their limit, they they don't understand why they're being pushed, and so right now we're in a transition period, and hopefully things will work out well, and hopefully when I see Siri tonight, and I'll let you guys know how that went. Um, Wednesday night went well, but I am in a better headspace than I was Wednesday night because obviously this transition started on Monday. But I will let you guys know next week when we speak again, how this transition is going. You're, you're going to follow me on this transition until the transition is over, you guys. And Danielle's been great. Sherry's been great. My stepmom has been great. I have to say that even though my stepmom made a mountain of a molehill, she once we found someone, she has been super supportive of me, and that's how we roll. And so, Danielle, do you want to lead everyone out, or do you have more questions for me, or what's the deal?
ah, ah, no,
You have
no,
more questions.
no, ah, we, ah,
Maybe we need to do a two-part episode. How does that
ah,
sound to you guys? We are going to do a two-part episode this week and next week, and then the other's gonna put part one and part two. And so we'll be back next week because this transition only started this week, and I know Danielle has more questions than I have and more details to give you guys. But we're gonna let you guys go and happy Monday, and then we'll see you guys next week for part two. Bye, you guys.
bye, yeah, you.